Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video, we're going to finally create our first gig. So what you're going to do is when you have your account, you're going to go where it says my business, and then you go to gigs here, and then you're going to be brought to this page here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click create a new gig, and you're going to be brought to this page here. So basically, I'm going to show you how to optimize your gigs because there's a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're creating your gigs to generate you the best results, right? We want to, spend some time when we create our gigs and not just, do them any kind of way. So that is why first, it's going to be this part here. It's going to be your gig title, right? So when you're doing the gig title, it's important to mention some keywords that you want to rank for, right? Because at the end of the day, when someone searches something on Fiverr, you want to be the first to pop up. Similar to when someone searches something on Google, you want to be the first to pop up, right? So it's similar in that way. Now, in the next topics, I'm going to show you how the Fiverr algorithm works and how your gig image plays the biggest role when it comes, one of the biggest roles when it comes to the Fiverr algorithm. But I'm going to talk about that in the next topics. But first, it's going to be the title. So every title on Fiverr will start with the phrase "I will," right? So let's just take, for example, with AI art for now. The first gig idea that I shared, let's just create a gig for that. So here you're going to be, typing here, for example, I will create AI art for you using Mid Journey, right? Something like this. Now, it can the title has to be, can be anything. You can have up to 80 characters here. The shorter, I think, the better it is. So when you're creating your title, I think it's best. It's definitely best to contain some keywords that you want to rank for. For example, if someone searches AI art and Midjourney, you want to basically include that in your title. So let's just take for this title for now. I will create AI art for you using Midjourney. You can also add something like I will create amazing or something like that to make it even better. Now, to create gig titles, you can also use ChatGPT, right? For example, you can write a short title for my Fiverr gig. I create AI art, right? And then you can do something like this, or you can just do another prompt and give them kind of like a specific idea what you want to achieve with your title. But something like this, simple and straight to the point, usually works best. Then you're going to select a category. Now, this is very important that your gig is on the right category, and they will also suggest your category. So, for example, they're doing right now graphics and design, AI artists, or we can check here if we have the AI art category. We can do graphics and design and AI artist. Then you're going to select your service type, for example, image generation, right? And then you're going to basically, you can choose the platform, for example, Midjourney here, which we're working on, and expertise, for example, let's say you like to do like kind of like character design, gaming, or some interior design as well. You can do that. And then here on positive keywords, you can enter keywords or some tags that are specific to your gig. For example, right now we're doing AI. We can do AI art, for example, Mid Journey. So, typing in something that is relevant. What else we can do? We can do, for example, prompts or, AI image. Or we can also do artificial intelligence, something like that. So you can type like 5 different basically positive keywords that you want to rank for. We can also do chat GPT here. Then you're gonna click save and continue. Then we move on to pricing. Now, pricing, it's also important. And one thing I want to mention about pricing is that don't be scared to charge more for your services, right? For example, the first order that I ever got, and I didn't have any previous orders, no reviews, no nothing. My first order that I got on Fiverr was for $50, right? So don't be afraid to charge more, because at the end of the day, like I mentioned before, Fiverr is a free marketplace, but Fiverr will take 20% for every order, right? So when you, for example, if you charge $100 for a gig, Fiverr will take $20 and your profit would be $80. So even though Fiverr is a free marketplace, they have this is how their system works is they will make money if you make money, right? So for every order that you get, they will take 20% for those orders, right? So if you think about it, the more you can charge on Fiverr and the more money you make, that is going to benefit Fiverr as well, because they will make more money from your orders, right? So that is why the more you charge, the more Fiverr makes, which is a win-win situation for you and Fiverr, and they will obviously will promote your gig even better and further, right? So the better your average order value is, the better your gigs can rank. So the pricing or the average order value that you get, it definitely plays a part in the Fiverr algorithm as well, but more on that later. So do not be afraid to charge more. Now, obviously, we also want to be realistic with our prices. So we also want to check what our competitors are offering, and we can work around those prices as well. And the great thing about pricing is that you're always going to be in charge. And also, once you start getting more orders, more clients, you can also always increase prices. For example, when I got that first $50 order for that same gig, right now I charge close to $200. So over the years, I've increased my price because the demand is there. More clients want to work with me, so that is why you can increase your prices as well as you work with more clients, as you build a solid portfolio, right? So prices, you can always, edit them. You can always increase them later on once you get more orders. Now you can name your package here. You can get more creative here. Something, for example, related to AI. You can create you can again use ChatGPT for this. For example, you can tell ChatGPT name 3 different package names. You can do it, for example, like where it says here basic, standard, gold. You can do premium. You can do something like platinum, gold, or silver. You can basically combine your packages, because clients are going to see the name of your package as well, and then you're going to be basically describing the details of your offering, right? So this is basically, it has to be short. You can use a maximum of 100 characters. So let's just name this first one basic as well. But like I said, you can always name it a bit better, right? You can get more creative. You can do, for example, like silver package, platinum, gold, something like that, or even something else that you want to do to name your packages. Something you can do also related to the gig. So since it's AI related, we can work with something like that. Now for your this is where you're going to be describing what you're offering. For example, let's say for the basic package, you're going to be generating one image, right? So you can write something like one custom image, right? So you can always make these, you can always make these a bit, longer and even better. So definitely do not just copy what I do here. You can definitely create or write something even better, for your package names as well, but also on the description, you can create something even better. But you also want to be straight to the point when you're creating your basically the details of your offering. It's very important that you're straight to the point, because this is what clients will see before they order your gig. And now some clients do not contact you before ordering. So sometimes you can get clients who just order without even talking to you prior. So it's important that you and the client are on the same page. So that is why it's important that you are straightforward and you tell the clients exactly what you're offering, so that there's no like cancellations, or there's no like issues with with your offer or with working with a client. So for example, you can do like one custom image here, and let's say on the standard one, you can create, let's just say, 3 custom images. And then let's say on the premium, you offer something like 10 or something like this, right? But you can, like I said, you can always get, more creative with your titles and everything like that. So for example, on your offer or your title, not on your title, but on your description here, you can do something like 10 custom masterpiece images, right? Or 10 exclusive AI masterpieces tailored to your specifications, right? You can do something like that, so let's just, do that. For example, 10 exclusive AI masterpieces tailored to your needs. So you're making it better this way rather than just writing it like something like this, which is standard and basic. So you can get even better and more, make it more personal to the client and write it like that. Then here on delivery time, this is where you're going to be showing how much time you take to deliver an order. Now make this basically always leave an extra day of time, because when it comes to delivering on Fiverr, especially in the beginning, for example, I had close to 700 orders now and I never delivered an order late. So it's very important that you deliver on time. So if you think that it can take like one day to deliver, then do it one day. But if you have a more busy schedule, if you work a job, for example, and you're using Fiverr as a side hustle, then you can do it 2 days or 3 days. So just make sure that you choose delivery time or leave at least one day extra to deliver, because let's say something comes up and then you don't want to extend the delivery or deliver late, because that can mean that the client will not be satisfied, right? In fact, for example, it's better if you leave the delivery time, for example, 2 days, and then you deliver within a day, because clients will really appreciate when you deliver before the time that you set. So don't be one of those freelancers that delivers late, because if you deliver late, this will basically can really mess things up for you, because the client is not going to be satisfied. It can lead to cancellations, it can lead to bad reviews, and it will mean that your gig will not perform well. Fiverr really takes into account all these things, all the metrics. So if the clients are not satisfied, they will not rank your gig higher. So make sure that you deliver on time, and you're, like I said, you're very open from the beginning what you're offering and how long it will take to deliver. So like I said, it's better to leave one day extra here and deliver quicker than this, because when you set it at 2 days delivery, it means that you will take 2 days to create this one custom image, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to deliver at the exactly 2 days. You can deliver quicker than that. So let's say you finish the image quicker within the first few hours, you deliver quicker, and the client will really appreciate when you deliver the order quicker, because like I said, on Fiverr, people are here, or clients are here to get work done quick. So the quicker you deliver, the better. But like I said, make sure that you set a time that really works for you, because it's very important that you always deliver on time. Now, let's say that for 3 custom images, you take 3 or 4 days. And then for 10 images, let's say that you take a week. You can also check what other competitors do to kind of see if they deliver quicker or not. Then here you're going to select the number of images, for example, 1, 3, and then we're doing 10. Then these are the upscaled variations. So it means that for one image, you have also variations. So you can just check before you do this. You can, for example, you can do 3, 4, but let's just set it as 1 for now. So you always make sure to check these before you actually do it. Then you can also do prompt delivery. You don't need to check that. If you do upscaling, you can check these boxes, or if you do extra editing, you can also check these boxes. Now, something you can do to push buyers to a more expensive package, because for example, let's say on the basic you only offer one custom image, but for the basic package you don't offer any of this. But let's say for your most expensive one you're offering more things. This can really make buyers, you can push them to make a higher order for you, right? So make sure that when you're offering something extra, let's say like image editing, do not offer it on your basic package. You can offer it for your second and your third package, because we want to get a higher order from our clients. Then you can select revisions. Revision just means that how many times the client can reject your work. For example, if you deliver and they're not happy, they can select the revision and you have to deliver to them again to whatever changes they want to make. So let's say for the basic package, you don't offer any revisions, but I would recommend that you offer revisions. You can also set this up to unlimited, which means that the buyers can ask for as many revisions as they want. And this can be great because it means that the buyers or the clients can just select the revision and you can basically work with them until they are happy, right? Because if you select no revisions, you're not, or zero, you're not leaving any room for you to, maybe if a client is not happy, you're not leaving any room for you to improve and to make the client happy, right? And that can lead to, again, a bad review, which is not good. We always want to make sure that we're treating every client like it's our first, or it's like the only client that we're working with, because we want to make sure that the client is satisfied, because this can lead to a good review, this can lead to tips, and this can lead to long-term buyers. Because if they're happy with you from the beginning to the end, they will obviously want to work with you in the future as well, and you're going to get repeat clients. And it's a great feeling when you're getting buyers, the same buyers every single month, right? That is something that we want to aim for. So always make sure that you offer the revisions, because you're leaving yourself a room to improve if the client is not happy. And not every client will request revisions. Most of them will just accept your work because they're happy, and then you can move on. Then you select your price. So for price, for example, you can check what the other freelancers are offering, but make sure that when you're selecting your prices, you always are offering a better deal on your higher end packages. For example, if you're charging, let's say $10 for one image, then you can charge, for example, $25 for 3 images, because normally it would be 30, right? If you're working with this price. And then for 10 images, you can charge something. Normally, if you're working with this price, it would be like $100, but we can do, let's just do, for example, 50 or even 60, right? So make sure that you're leaving a better offer as you move on with packages. The basic one is more like clients who just want to try out your services, and then the other packages, like your second and your third one, should be the packages where you're offering a better deal, you're doing more work, but it's going to lead to a higher price package. Now, one thing I want to mention, so let's just set this one at, let's just do 50, but you can work with other prices, so don't use these prices as an example. If you think $50 is too low for generating 100 images, you can set it higher. Or if you don't want to generate 10 images, you can offer 5, for example, right? So make this specific to what you want to offer, and don't just copy this. I'm only giving you an idea of what I use for myself and what has been working for me. Now, one thing I want to mention, and something that you do never want to skip on, is extra services. These are one of the best ways that you can increase your average order value by basically offering these extra services, right? So what I think that you can do is, for example, let's say for the premium package, you take 1 week to deliver, right? But if a client wants extra fast delivery, let's just say for the premium one, if you can charge, you can deliver on 3 days, right? But you can charge an extra $25. This means that if some client want the work quicker, for example, from 7 days to 3 days, you're charging an extra amount, which can lead to buyers spending more money on your gig. And this can work not just with extra fast delivery, but it can work, for example, for additional images. For example, if for the basic you offer one image, you can charge an extra $5 for an additional image, right? These are great, and you can do it with, you can also add your own thing here, add gig extra. For example, I will do, whatever that you're offering. For example, you can offer something extra besides these here, and you're going to be charging extra for that. So never miss out or skip out on extra services. These are always great because you're basically increasing your costs, and this is something that most clients get, right? They want either quicker delivery or even more work. For example, you have here, if you're offering image editing, so always make sure that you're not skipping gig extras. Always make sure that you're offering them, because it means that you're increasing your average order value and you're making, more money at the end of the day. Now, this is where you're going to be putting your gig description. Again, if you're not the best writer, you can always use ChatGPT for this. You can say to ChatGPT, write 10 different descriptions for my Fiverr gig, and you can use that to describe what you're basically offering. Now, a thing that I want to mention when you're doing the description, when you're writing your description, is make sure that you're telling the client what you're offering, right? Now, what I mean by this is that when you're offering something, for example, when you're offering something on Fiverr, you do not want to have a super long description, right? It even has like a maximum of 1200 characters, right? So we want to basically show what the client, or tell the client what they're getting. So most freelancers focus on themselves. They say like, I'm hardworking, I'm friendly, I'm this, I'm that. But the clients, if I'm being straightforward, they don't care too much about you. They care more about what you're offering and what they're getting out of your services. So make sure that you get into the client's mind and you say what they're getting with your service. If they're basically saving time, if they're getting a something that your competitors are not offering, right? So make sure that when you're writing the description, you're writing something that basically fits your client's needs, and it's better to tell them what they're getting rather than focusing too much on yourself. So make your description very straightforward. Don't make it seem like too salesy, nothing like that. Just straight to the point. You can, again, like I said, if you're not the best writer, you can just use ChatGPT for this. It's going to write you a description. If you're happy with it, you can use that. And like I said, focus mostly on what the client is going to get rather than focusing too much on yourself, right? So, show the client what you're offering that is going to benefit them, because at the end of the day, they're paying for your services. So they want to make sure most of the clients are going to read your description before they purchase to kind of see what you're offering. So this is all very important when you're writing your description. And another thing that you can add, if you scroll down on the description, is going to be frequently asked questions. Now, this is something that is optional, but it's something that can, further explain your services. Now, this can work maybe for some services that are more complicated or something like that, but you can add a frequently asked questions section here. So you're adding a question. So get in the client's head and think, what would they want to know more about my service? For example, how long will it take to deliver? Something like that, right? And then you're going to write your answer here. So this is where you're thinking what the client is going to ask you. So you're making a question that, for example, if you start getting messages on Fiverr from clients, and let's say you're getting the same question each time, how long it's going to take you to deliver, or what are you using to create these images, right? So you can create the most, frequently asked questions that you get for your gig. You can create them here. You can create a lot of these questions here, not just one. So you can add these as well to further explain your service, and to basically you're making it easier for a client to understand what you're offering. So that is something that is optional, but is definitely something that you want to offer as well. And then we move on to requirements. So after we write the description and our questions here, we go ahead to requirements. Now the requirements are very also are very important. You can add basically you can add a question here. So this is where you want to ask the client what they want to get out of working with you. So the requirements are basically very important because it's kind of like you want to get as much information from your client as possible to kind of know what the client wants to achieve with this order, so you can deliver exactly what the client wants, right? So you can add the question here. For example, you can add the question uh, uh, like anything, like for example, for the design that you're doing with AI. So in this section here, you, like I said, you want to get as much information as possible from your client. You get all the necessary details, right, so that you're on the same page with the client and you deliver exactly what they want, right? So the requirements are very important because, like I said, sometimes the clients will just go ahead and purchase your gig without messaging you first. So you never talk with the buyers, they just get your gig, and then you definitely don't know exactly what they want. So the requirements are a great way to basically have all the other questions that you might have working for the client, right? So make sure to add the requirements that you need, and this can is not the same for every gig, so you can make it specific to each gig. Fiverr will also add these questions for the buyer. So these are the automatic questions that the buyers are going to get from Fiverr, but you can also add your own questions here. And then finally, before we can publish our gig, we're going to be moving on to gallery. So this is where you can add up to 3 images for your gig, and you can also choose a video. The video is optional, but you can choose a Fiverr image here. And I'm also going to show you how to create the image, because one thing I want to mention is, and I'm going to talk about this even in more detail when I show you how the Fiverr algorithm works, is the image plays a key part when it comes to ranking on Fiverr. So it's part of their algorithm. So what I mean by this is when someone goes on Fiverr, they will not see the title as much. They will see the image first, right? So the client is going to basically be seeing your image first, and whatever image catches their eye, they're going to click on it. So clicking on a gig is the first part before they can purchase, right? First they have to click on it, and then they can message you, or they can just buy it straight away. So the image is what's going to attract buyers. So that is why from all these, basically the overview, the pricing, all the description, everything that I mentioned, the image is going to be the most important part when you're optimizing your gig. That is because, like I said, the clients are going to see before anything else, before they see your description, before they even see your pricing or read your title, they're going to see your image. So the image is what's going to make them click, right? And the thing is that Fiverr really takes this into account. For example, if you and your competitor, let's say you have a better image than your competitor, this means that clients are going to click on your gig more. And Fiverr really takes this into account because they say, hey, this gig here is actually getting more clicks than everyone else. So your gig is going to have a high click-through rate, right? Which means that people are actually clicking on it, and then obviously they have to buy it, they have to read the description, or they message you and you have to convert them. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about that more in the next topics. But the image, like I said, is very important because it's going to determine how high is your click-through rate. And the higher the click-through rate, the better it's going to be, because it means that you're actually getting people to click on your gig, and the more people you can get to click on your gig and view it, the more people are going to buy it, right? It's a numbers game at the end of the day. So that is why your gig image, it's very, very important. So out of all these things here, the gig image is the one that you want to spend the most time on. And you can really test your gig by this, because if your gig is not getting clicks, in most cases it's because the image is not as attractive and it's not really attracting buyers to click on your gig. Now the Fiverr gig image dimension are these, and we can again use Canva. I've made a custom design with these exact dimensions here, so that it's going to fit our gig image properly. And like I said, Canva has ready to go templates for you, so you can just click on it. For example, let's just say you offer something like design, right? So if you're offering design, you can basically check out these images here, and then you can basically play around with them. Now, when you're creating your gig image, bright colors do very well. Something like yellow or a bright red, they perform very well. And you don't want to have too much text on your gig image, right? You want to basically think of something that would make you click if you saw that gig, right? For example, this one here, it has like some weird shapes and stuff, but we can work with that, right? For example, this one here. So you can create anything. If we do like design or anything, you can use the templates here. Canva has even more templates than this, so don't limit yourself to only these. But like I said, for example, you can use something like this, something that is going to basically stand out. So when you're looking at these templates, think about which one catches your eye first. Is it something like this, right? Or if you're offering, for example, AI art, maybe you can create your AI art, for example, like I created that cat image before, right? So I can use that on my images here to kind of show my clients what I can offer for them. So even if you don't want to create it on Canva, you can basically showcase your work on your gig image. So for example, if you're creating AI art, create a sample of an AI art, something that you would create for clients, and you can use that for your image. So depending from your gig, you can use Canva, you can use a blank design on Canva, or you can use their templates. They have a whole lot of templates to look at and really make your gig image stand out. You can also create a video either of yourself, or you can do like an explainer video how your gig works. That works as well. And then after that, you're going to be basically publishing your gig. So you're just going to save, and then you're going to have your gig published. So that is how you're going to create your first gig. You create, save, your gig is going to be published, and then your gig will be live. So thank you again, and I'm going to see you in the next videos to further explain how the Fiverr algorithm works. So besides the gig image, what else we can do to optimize our gig, optimize our work to get even more, to get our first clients, and then continue to scale our business. So thank you again. I'm going to see you in the next video.